Okay, so I wrote this down right after the movie started. This is the true account of events. And I am 100% positive that I hope that these are not the true account of events. Boy, howdy, let me tell you. After seeing this movie, it makes me wonder how America won the war in the Pacific in World War II. Jeez, you want to talk about some non-target hitting mo-frackies. Just look at how many torpedoes, how many bombs. This whole movie, you're just sitting there like, oh man, did we hit anything anywhere? It was just non-stop miss. One of the American generals or military intelligence guys in the movie was like, they have everything, we have nothing. It's just like the Japanese just makes you wonder, was America really at this much of a disadvantage at the beginning of the war? Because America was fighting war on two fronts. It wasn't just in the Pacific, and most of everything was in Europe. So, I don't know. A lot of people seem to think movies are documentaries, and if you're looking at this movie as a documentary, you can't be thinking to yourself, well, America just came out of nowhere and won it, because that's kind of what it looked like it was portrayed as. Don't let this take away from the movie at all. This movie was visually amazing. The sound was great. Man, the biggest mistake I made with this movie was not seeing it in IMAX, even more so than Ford versus Ferrari. This movie was an IMAX movie for sure. It also is a super anti-war movie no matter what anybody says, because why would people put themselves in these positions? It was just like, hey, let's fly our planes against all of these anti-air everything. I was just like, man, if I ever want to have somebody not be pro-war, I'll just have them watch this movie, because wow. Especially at the end when they were like, oh, the Chinese that helped us. Yeah, 250 of them. 250,000 of them were slaughtered. Woo! I was surprised at how much of Pearl Harbor they showed. I thought this movie was going to be mostly about Midway and the other islands, but there was a good little chunk at the beginning of this movie that was Pearl Harbor, and it's one of those things where it's like, how did nobody know the Japanese were coming until literally the planes started shooting on the ships there in Pearl Harbor? Woo! And during this opening sequence, there's one part where one of the officers on a ship is shooting down at a zero, and he shoots down to zero, and he's looking up, and the plane crashes, and he's still looking up, and he goes, "You bastard!" I was like, why are you still looking up? You shot the plane down. Filmmaking 101, everybody. If you want to give somebody power and presence, you shoot them from a low angle. It makes them look big. It makes them look powerful. If you want to take power away from somebody, do exactly what Midway did. And when Woody Harrelson's character, Admiral Nimitz, when he came out of his car in his opening shot, they gave him a high angle. Makes him look little and weak. The Admiral of the Navy, the new leader, the new one in charge, made him look weak. I understand that there were steps going up to where he was going, but in Hollywood, there's ways to work around this. But movies are dumb sometimes. Good going, Midway. They also say in this movie, nobody wants a war, and we know that's absolutely far from the truth. So all of you people that think movies are documentaries know that there are tons of people who want war. There's one instance in this movie where a plane's coming into the ship and it kind of crash lands, and then this bomb falls off the plane and starts skidding across the ship. And if you ask me, the real hero in this movie is not Dick Best. The real hero in this movie is that sailor that jumped onto the bomb and stopped, who said, I'm just gonna stop this bomb. And he later on explained, I won't ruin his little explanation for doing that, or for being the hero that he was. If I'm not, I might be getting two characters mixed up. But there is one guy who does things fearlessly, and somebody asks him why he does things fearlessly, and he gives pretty good explanation as to why. Like I said in Playing with Fire, if you're gonna be afraid, bad things probably gonna happen. So you better just be heroic when you need to be heroic. It definitely is a movie you need to see in the theaters. It's visually fantastic. The war fun expectations of this movie did not disappoint at all. War is not fun, but hey, if we can make it entertaining, might as well, right? But I wish I would have seen it in IMAX. I'm sure there's a few other things about this movie I can't recall off the top of my head, or that I wrote notes down, but I didn't write very good notes down. But for the most part, overall, great movie experience. It's not a documentary, just keep that in mind. I enjoyed it very much, and you should see it in IMAX. If it's probably too late now by the time this video gets uploaded. But what did you think about Midway? Go ahead and leave some comments in the comment section. Like, subscribe, share. Follow us on Twitter at MoviesAreDumbS, or like us on Facebook at MoviesAreDumbSometimes. Thank you very much, and enjoy your next movie-going experience.